Okay, Samuel, thank you so much for speaking to us today. Just kind of get one off the bat straight away. You're someone who is kind of known for saying the word motherfucker. You've got a particularly style of doing it. Just kind of wanted some sort of tips or advice on how to kind of really say the perfect motherfucker.
All depends. If you're talking about somebody who's a friend, it's a friendly way of saying it. If you're talking about somebody that you're upset with, it's another way of saying it. If it's a situation, there's another way of referencing it. If it's a descriptive, motherfucker is it's a utilitarian word. You can use it in a lot of different ways.
Cool. And this film you're reunited with Bruce Willis. You've done a lot of films together. One of them being Die Hard with a Vengeance. Has there ever been any discussion about you returning to that franchise at any point?
Not between Bruce and I. I've heard people say they're doing another Die Hard and they're going to write Zeus back in it. And I was like, okay, fine. Let me know when that happens. Otherwise, I'll just keep going to work. Yeah.
I mean, was that something you would be keen on doing ever?
Of course, yeah. I love Zeus Carver. Zeus is a great character.
You're a big comic book fan, and sometimes we'll get sort of think pieces or people like Bill Maher come out and say, adults shouldn't be reading comic books.
Really?
How do you feel when people say stuff like that?
I feel like they're not readers.
Yeah.
I mean, what do adults read exactly? I mean, everybody's not a history buff. Everybody doesn't want to read history. Everybody doesn't want to read political commentary. I've always used comic books as a form of escapism. And I mean, I read normal books. I read books that allow me to use my mind to draw the pictures, but sometimes I like looking at what somebody thinks that world is or what that particular space that the story happens in looks like to them. So I still read graphic novels and comics all the time.
I mean, we're enjoying a real kind of boom of comic book movies. You're very much at the forefront of that. Why do you think people are kind of turning to these superheroes so much?
I don't know that they're turning to them. I just think that it's another form of what we've always known the movies to be. I mean, people have been predicting the demise of the cinema for a very long time. With the advent of videotape, and then all of a sudden with DVDs, that people are going to stay home, and now streaming, they're not going to go to. There's something about going into the big dark room for the excitement of sharing that experience with a whole bunch of other people and being thrilled by a different kind of world or a different kind of experience that's alien to what we live every day, that makes the experience worth sharing and going to. And I just think it's just another form of it's another amusement park ride.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 19 years since Unbreakable. What was it that drew you back to this character? Did you feel like you had unfinished business?
Yeah, I felt he needed closure. And Knight said years ago that it was a trilogy when we first started doing Unbreakable. So I knew that I was locked up in this place. I just wanted to know what was happening in that place so I could have some kind of closure.
Obviously, the Marvel universe is always expanding. Has there ever been talk of a Nick Fury kind of movie at any point?
Only online.
So you would...
I've never heard them talk about it, but only online.
And obviously, it's a kind of probably question you get a lot. I mean, if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
Me?
Yeah.
Teleportation, because I like travel, but I don't like the length of time it takes to get from one place to another. I just like to be able to beam down somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, what was the biggest challenge of returning to this role after so long? Was it hard to reconnect with the character again, or did it just feel like stepping into shoes?
No, there was no difficulty reconnecting with Elijah. I mean, knowing who he is, having a good understanding of where he was when he got locked up, and the fact that he's been in this particular place and he knows David Dunn is still out there doing what David Dunn is doing. It was kind of fun figuring out what they were doing to him in that particular place, and what they were doing to dampen his intelligence or to keep him from finding a way out, because he's smart enough to figure out a way to get out of there. But he's in there and he's surviving. And I'm sure, through other breaks and other pain, and pain informs you in another kind of way. So he lives his life in that, particular painful place.